hi guys, I'm back with another video, and for this one we are going to look at what Trump is doing in America to try and force everyone into using public bathrooms and changing rooms that's associated with their sex at birth rather than their gender, and just all of the consequences that will happen because of that. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm Franco. I'm a 24-year-old trans male living in England. I have quite a few videos saved on Instagram and we will get through those. Today we will just be looking at the real genuine consequences of what he's doing. So today we are going to have a look at something I've seen on Instagram a few days ago, because I think this guy, regardless of what he knows or doesn't know about trans people, he's absolutely right in what he says with this whole trans women being banned in women's restrooms or toilets or changing rooms. Because before, when trans women were allowed into women's bathrooms and changing rooms, non-trans people who are trying to force their way into that room, that toilet, that changing room, non-trans people who were and are predators trying to gain access to that sort of space would actually have to try and make it seem as if they are trans to gain access to the space. As we will see in this video, it will seem like these predators who are not trans at all don't really have any need or reason to put any kind of effort into gaining access to that space. So I'm guessing what the Trump administration are trying to get rid of and blame it on trans people when it's not trans people doing this. They've just made it 10 times easier for these predators, who again are not trans in any way. They've just made it 10 times easier for them. So let's just look at this clip.
Okay, so you've banned trans women from women's bathrooms and trans men from men's bathroom. Your argument used to be, well, any man could go into a woman's bathroom and say that there are trans women. Okay, so now what's stopping me, a cisgender man, from going into a women's bathroom and saying that I'm a trans man, aka born a girl? Now I'm male presenting, but you're forcing me to go into this woman's bathroom, and now I don't even have to pretend to look like a woman because I'm a masculine, male presenting trans man. But to now stop cisgender men saying that they're trans men forced to go into women's bathrooms. But we can just tell. How can you tell? How can you tell that I'm not? And if you could, then couldn't you just always tell which one were the creepy men pretending or saying that they were women? And I need to restate the obvious, that once again, the punishment and the blame and the villainization and the folks who bear the consequence are trans people, when the perpetrators are cisgender straight men. But they're never held accountable. They're never ones to face the consequence. It's always the trans people, when the threat in these hypotheticals are cisgender straight men.
That is genuinely just so true, that the ones who are actually doing this are not trans. They're cis straight men being very, very weird and creepy, and they will do anything and everything to try and get whatever it is that they want, and this has just made it easier for them to do that. They can just now walk into a women's bathroom, a women's changing room, to get some sort of sick and twisted fantasy not done, but they can get one step closer to potentially harming someone because of their sick and twisted fantasies. And this is being put on to trans people as if it's trans people doing this, when there's no clear line or division being reported that it's 100% non-trans people. It's the cis straight men pretending to be trans people to gain access to toilets and bathrooms that they're not supposed to be in any way. And there isn't, to me, enough of a separation between the cis straight people being the predators and trans people not being the predators in news reportings. Just a lot of people seem to think that it's trans people doing this when it's not at all. The last thing I would want to do going into a toilet is talk to people. The only thing I want to do as a trans person myself is use the toilet when I'm in public. That's it. I wouldn't even think of looking at someone else or talking to someone else. I just want to get in there, use the toilet, come out, wash my hands, and then leave, and that's it. With a trans man who transitions from female to male, top surgery, there's different options for top surgery. So you can have the surgery that leaves the scars, or you can have a keyhole type surgery which doesn't leave scars. So it's just like that wouldn't be noticeable to people. So it's like when you're in a changing room and you've got no shirt on, if you've had keyhole surgery, you won't have very noticeable scars. There might be a tiny little scar somewhere, but it would be so small that it won't at all be noticeable in any way. Some people, or a lot of other people, won't even be able to tell that someone's had top surgery or hasn't had top surgery, because there's different options of top surgery and it doesn't always leave scars that are visible for people to see them. For a cis man to go in to a woman's changing room and not have a t-shirt on, there'd be no difference between them and a trans person after a trans person's had top surgery, that is. Some predator can claim all sorts about their anatomy and point things out to be supposed indicators they've had top surgery. People who don't know anything about trans people will probably believe their nonsense that they're going on about, and they will probably say things to make it seem believable, even if what they're saying is nonsense and doesn't make any sense towards what having top surgery will actually do for a trans person. They could take the most basic understanding of top surgery, lie about it, and then just make it seem believable that they've had it to other people if they ever got confronted by cis women in changing rooms. And they just can't at all understand how much danger it puts trans people in. You can't expect a trans woman to go into a men's bathroom or changing room. You can't expect a trans man to go into a women's bathroom.